Hi, everybody. Josiah Gilliam here, Executive Director at Pump, back with another community partner highlight. And I'm thrilled to have two good friends from my favorite salsa studio in the city. There are lots of good ones, and we're going to get into that. But the place that I've been taking salsa classes, Los Sabrosos, based out of Garfield. And we're going to have a conversation about their story, their history, what brought them to Pittsburgh, the scene, ways that people can get involved. And we're thrilled to have them here. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks
you
so
having us,
much for
man.
having us.
It's our honor. It's our pleasure. So please, let's do introductions, and then we'll get into the story of everything.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Agustin Garcia-Pawlowski.
And I am Nicolette Garcia-Pawlowski. And we're co-founders of Los Sabrosos Dance Company. We started this project, this crazy little, supposed to be a side project,
Right.
Yes.
going on 15 years ago.
Mhm.
It'll be 15 years this June.
Wow.
In 2011.
2011. Yes, that's when we started it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was doing my PhD at the University of Wisconsin,
Mhm.
Madison. Awesome school. And I started Los Sabrosos there, but it wasn't a company. It was just a student organization, a nonprofit student org that through the university. And because really there was only one other person teaching at that time, and he was really disgusting. And so I just wanted another option. So I just asked a bunch of friends, and we were rotating people all the time and teaching classes throughout the week and bringing in some events. It wasn't very large, but it was wonderful. And then I visited Pittsburgh, and I fell in love with this city, and we met dancing. I came out twice first, and I just had these crazy coincidences with Pittsburgh. And some people were asking me already at that point, like, why aren't you running a dance studio? Because you basically are. Why aren't you charging for classes? Because a lot of people were saying, like, not, at the beginning when you offer free classes for students, 200 show up for the first class. And then by day, I don't know, 4 or 5, fourth week, fifth week, we have maybe like 10. So just like the buy-in wasn't the same. So I had some friends recommending, like, maybe, start something that's a little bit more serious. And I just decided one day that I would love to bring Los Sabrosos to Pittsburgh, but specifically I wanted to have a partner that I didn't have to juggle, that I could focus on projects with, because it was a lot. It was a lot just constantly switching people and adjusting because, again, everyone was a volunteer
Mm-hmm.
and doing it a lot was causing a bit of burnout for some folks. So Augustine was the first person I approached. I had heard that he was an instructor in the scene already. And there were a lot of instructors here in Pittsburgh. In fact, Pittsburgh had a huge salsa scene when I first visited. There was salsa nights, literally 7 nights a week. And that was really amazing. Also a little bit much. Some nights had 2. And Pittsburgh doesn't have that. And at that time, didn't have that enormous of a scene. But we met dancing already. And so I approached him, this stranger, to be like, hey, I have these ideas. Would you mind meeting me for a business lunch?
Mm-hmm.
And and that's kind of where it started from.
Yes, going back to what you say, when you teach and you don't charge about your teaching or the classes, people just take it for granted. I'm just going to try it. But when you actually charge them something, then they feel like, oh, at least I want to go through the whole month and see how much I can accomplish, right? So yes, we met in one of the places that we're probably going out tonight.
Yeah, Cabaret Theater.
Cabaret Theater.
Oh,
we got a babysitter for tonight, so we'll be heading out.
It's hard for us.
Cabaret.
Yes,
downtown.
yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
What's happening down there tonight?
There's a salsa night.
They have a salsa night.
Oh, the salsa night's tonight.
Have a
Yeah,
salsa night.
Jeff and
Yes.
Colleen
Jeff
with
and
Salsa
Colleen,
Pittsburgh are
Salsa
running
Pittsburgh.
it.
They've been doing it for so long. That's actually why I got into the salsa. I always loved it. I met her at Cabaret Theater. We danced, and then I told her at that time I was running my restaurant in downtown Smithfield Street and also Wood Street. It was called Mexico City, and I was running a couple nights, Wednesday night and Saturday night.
Salsa nights.
Salsa nights. The restaurant was on the bottom, and on the second floor, we had an empty space, but I was still. It was not we were not using it by then. So I was running the salsa nights in the same floor, first floor. So I met her on Friday, and I'm like, hey, why don't you check out this place on Saturday? I'm going to be there, and we can dance more. And then she came. She's like, I saw her there. I'm like, okay, good. So we danced more, and that's when she, a week later, maybe?
No.
On the same night?
No. That first time that we met was like I was just there for the week, and then I left, and I came back again a couple weeks later. And then I came back a month later. That was the week. So I'm a sex educator. And that's actually what my PhD is in. So I interviewed for the University of Pittsburgh sex educator position. By the way, it no longer exists because there was some drama around some donors with the University of Pittsburgh and having a sex educator on campus, which is crazy. But at that time, the sex educator position had opened up, and I interviewed for it. And I got into the final round, and they said, it was in person. You had to come in. This is one of the crazy coincidences that I had, actually, because I met this amazing professor, Melanie Gold, when I was visiting here in Pittsburgh. And she was like, let's keep in touch. If our sex educator, if they ever decide to leave, I'll let you know. So a month later, I was in Poland celebrating. I'd just finished my master's. I was continuing with my PhD work. My parents had gotten me this big gift to go to Europe and see family in Poland. I got an email from her, send me your CV right now. The sex educator position has opened up at the University of Pittsburgh. And so I interviewed. It was 9 p.m. in Poland, and it was 3 p.m. here in Pittsburgh. And it was like an hour and a half interview. It went really well. And they're like, you're fantastic. Come into the final round. Let's make this happen. So that's when I decided I was moving to Pittsburgh. Not that I knew that I was going to get this job necessarily, but there's so many other things happening with Pittsburgh. And I just felt like this was the place I wanted to go. It's such a gorgeous city. It's
it is.
It's amazing. It's such an amazing city. It's literally my heart city. So I had 1 week. I was going to do the interview. I was going to find an apartment. It had to be on the top floor because I don't like people walking above me. It had to be animal friendly. I found one in Lawrenceville. It was incredible. I was looking for a dance studio space. And then I wanted to go and find a business partner to do Los Sabrosos dance company together. So I did it all in a week, and it was fantastic. Except I ended up not getting the job at all because University of Pittsburgh had this controversy regarding the sexual health fair that they had at that time. And they decided that they couldn't afford kind of the publicity around that anymore. And so they cut the sex educator position completely out, and they made it only an drug and alcohol position. And that's it. That was the end of that.
So that's why I brought you back, and then you had that meeting.
Then we had the meeting.
Yes.
We had the meeting, and she was so ready, man. She's always been ready. That's why I think we are in the position that we are right now, because she's a go-getter. She's like, whatever she puts her mind into it, it's going to happen. So she throws things to me, she wants to have a farm, she wants to do this. And I know when she does those things, they're going to happen. I don't know when, but they're going to happen. So I remember we met for lunch, and she has this...
I had a notebook.
A notebook, right? And she's like, well, I want to do this. I want to open a studio. I'm going to have just one partner. I want to teach different styles. I want to compete. I want to be traveling, congresses, have teams. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
which I was not expecting at all.
Right.
I was running a restaurant, right? So I have 2 restaurants actually when I met her. So I always loved dancing. I was already teaching. I was having my social nights. I was dancing. It was great. I don't even know if it crossed my mind at that time to own a studio or to have a studio, but I knew that I wanted to do something more with dancing later on in the future. So when she shows up and she gives me all of these ideas, and I'm like, and then I have somebody that can actually help me run that business, I'm like, sure, let's do it. And by the way, my second floor on top of the restaurant is empty. We can make that our dance studio.
2,000 square feet of space, and had huge arches. It was
beautiful.
So gorgeous.
Yeah,
except it was just, I was in such shock about it because I had no clue he had a restaurant. I didn't know that Mexico City was his space. So I was like, I'm already looking at spaces. Like, here's this, here's that. And he's like, actually, I have this huge space and we can make this work. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You can actually see it if you go to Yuzu Kitchen and their like private area events place. Oh, it's
and I think they covered the archers, but, where the mirrors used to be, you can still see the top. I haven't been on the top floor, so I don't know. So yeah, I mean, so we fix it up, put some floor, some mirrors, and then we started our classes there. And that was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
And we were in that building for with the Los Sabrosos 2.5 years. We still had lease was ending, and the building itself they didn't own it. They leased it out. So the owners of the building, they just wanted to sell it. They were older. And
the building have a lot of issues.
It had a lot of issues at that time.
Yeah. So yes, the lease was ending, and like I say, when she put her mind into something, she's making it happen, and she's gonna make it happen. So she's like, we need to find a new place, and I'm like, okay, but I'm worried about what's going to happen. I'm going to close this place or everything that I have. And all of a sudden, she's like, I found a building. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I think I have a building. I have a good feeling. And that's where we're going to move. That's where we're going to move Los Sabrosos. Yeah, but I just feel that it was, when I say that, it's because I felt that it was a little... away from what people were used to.
Yeah, right.
Why are we going too far? For me, thinking that was too far away.
We did have some students.
Downtown.
Sure.
We definitely had some students that said, I'm not, downtown is one thing, but going out further out past like the strip district, that's just too far. Which to me, I'm like, what?
So I was thinking like a strip district, you know what I mean? Somewhere close, or maybe somewhere also in the downtown area, which people are already used to coming to the classes. Why are we going away from the city? Why are we going to...
We're still in the city. We're in the heart of the city. No.
Yes, but
no,
that's how people think about it.
That people think about it. No, do I have to? Oh, I have to cross the bridge. Oh my God, I have to cross the tunnels. Yeah, a lot of people think like that.
I don't think they think like that anymore.
It's
all one big, gorgeous, beautiful city.
It is. But yeah, that's definitely a Pittsburgh meme for sure. Let me ask some like kind of learning questions. So what does Los Sabrosos mean?
It means full of flavor.
Full of flavor.
Full of flavor.
With flavors.
Yes, in Spanish you can say that for food, for dancing. This is really yummy. Esto está muy sabroso. So when you find out something is sabroso, is because it has a different topics, different ingredients.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Los Sabrosos is. We are like full of flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't just teach one style of dancing.
That's right.
We teach different styles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as we've expanded, so this was supposed to be like a side project. Then when we moved to our main location now on Penn Avenue, we started getting more and more requests like, hey, would you offer ballroom? Would you offer this? And so we started adding it to our repertoire. And now we've grown to like 26 staff. And we do Bollywood, we do belly dance, ballet, kids classes, summer camps. It's just been an amazing growth and a wonderful menu of things that we now do. So we say we're our studio's full of flavor. We have many flavors under one roof.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So when you're explaining salsa, how do you talk about that dance form? Like, how do you describe what salsa is?
Well, we always say salsa just like what it sounds like, right? It's a mix of flavors. So for me, it's a really energetic dance, that you can express yourself openly. I know it's a technique that you want to like learn, timing that you want to learn. But a lot of times, and I told this to my students when they're beginners, you're not competing. Don't stress yourself too hard. Don't think about the music or the song that is your favorite song. It doesn't have to be salsa. And I bet you that song that you listen to and that's your favorite song is going to make a part of your body move. And when you move that part of your body, you're moving it with some rhythm, right? Yep. So it doesn't matter what it is. You might start like banging on the table or like moving your feet. Salsa is the same thing. Like, I think we just think too hard sometimes. Like, I gotta get this on time. I gotta get that will come later.
Mm.
First, just make it part of now your playlist,
Yeah.
right? Now that you have a salsa song.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, for folks that are watching and listening, I've been taking salsa classes with Los Sabrosos since last March, actually. So about a year.
Happy anniversary.
anniversary.
Thank you guys. Yeah, it's been wonderful. And one of the things, it was so welcoming. It was a little intimidating. I'd never done partner dancing before in a formal way. I'd never taken dance classes, but we have a mutual friend, Nadili, who is a wonderful dancer, and I asked her for recommendations on where to start, and she recommended a number of studios because there is a vibrant scene, and I do want to get back to that. I was so surprised to learn, as someone that's been in Pittsburgh, how many studios and socials there are. There's a social tonight, and I didn't realize it in my neighborhood. And it's wonderful. But in coming in, what I wanted was group classes, beginner classes, a place where I could kind of just, learn. And Los Sabrosos was so welcoming. And you got Agustin literally teaching those beginner classes. You guys travel, you compete, you do all these things professionally, but you're teaching the actual beginner classes. And you love that in particular. That's
my favorite class, man.
Your favorite class?
Beginners is my favorite class.
Yeah.
The expression of people when they make something, when they take the step that they thought, oh, it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea how many people are like, oh, I can't dance. I'm like, yes, you can. Just think about it. Like, dancing is just like walking. We were not born walking.
Right.
Exactly.
Neither the crowd and start walking. And when we say that, it's like, think about it. You take one step when you were a baby. You take one step, and then your left foot, your right foot doesn't know what to do next. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to train our muscles.
That's right.
Right? And when they get the first two steps and they see their faces, and I'm teaching a class and I look at the people in the mirror, and sometimes they do something and they get the step and they see their body and they go like, yeah, got it. I'm like, yes. It's awesome to see.
It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, it was great for me because and a bunch of friends that were in those first classes still in contact with. There are these fundamental steps that you can learn that are very approachable, and you're very quickly you're dancing to music.
Yes.
And then you guys do such a great job of kind of adding layers, steps, movements, shines, and you really feel like you're building an arsenal of moves that you can start to express yourself with, and then kind of building up to social dancing. But even in those beginner classes, you have a chance to dance with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Different body types, different heights, different skill levels, different familiarity, and you yourself. And so it's a great opportunity to get some reps in and all of that. So you mentioned some of the other dance forms. There's salsa and there's bachata that you guys do. What's the difference between those two for people that aren't super familiar? Because when you go to some of these socials, it might be 70-30% salsa and bachata.
Yeah.
So how do you describe the difference?
So I would say bachata is a little bit slower if someone were to kind of think about kind of beats per minute in the song. Salsa usually is a little bit faster, and bachata is more even. So whereas opposed to you'll kind of feel like in salsa there's this kind of quick slow tempo, bachata is like it hits boom 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 pa boom 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 pa. And the basics of bachata, in some senses, most people will say it's a little bit easier to learn because it's the most basic universal step in bachata is a side step, side together, side tap. So it's a bit more, I would say, beginner friendly in some senses, but we also have a lot of people that think also salsa is super beginner friendly.
But also I would say too, the instruments, you can definitely hear the difference in the instruments. In bachata, for example, you can hear a lot the güiro, the bongos. There's going to be a lot. And one of the more unique instruments is la segunda, which is the small guitar. That is going to be leading a lot of the music in bachata. And even though now we have different styles of bachata, the traditional bachata, the one that originated in Dominican Republic, still there, is powerful is there, but now with the styles like more sensual bachata, more urban bachata, now you can hear other instruments, which in the tradition of bachata, the güiro, the bongos, and the segunda is still super strong. There is like the whole time you can hear that, which in other songs now, electric guitar, piano, other things that people are incorporating. In salsa is the same thing. Now for salsa, it depends on the style, the rhythm that you are going to find. You know, like if you want to do pachanga, for example, which is one rhythm that you find in the salsa song, look for the flute, right? Piano for more montuno. So things like that. So the instruments are cowbell, the clave, right? So the bongos, and I mean the congas, especially when you start dancing in a different timing, because it's different timings that you dance. And bachata is the same thing. In bachata, a lot of times people think, oh my God, I'm dancing off beat and this and that. It's important to know that you're dancing on the right beat, but it's unless you're competing, you know. In bachata, you can really dance in any time, right? And just like in salsa, in montuno, in pachanga, in cha-cha-cha, they all have their timings, right? So what you complementing what you say, I think the instruments are also the ones that you're going to hear the difference between what salsa, what's bachata. Another popular dance is cha-cha-cha in merengue. And also merengue, you can hear merengue is a little bit, it can be a little bit faster, but once you get familiar with at least with those four, that's the one that you're going to hear most, merengue, bachata, cha-cha-cha, and salsa, then it's easy for you to pick up which style of dancing is.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can develop your ear based on that.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting point. You've mentioned that in classes. You know, you'll run us through a routine, and you'll have us listen to like the piano,
right?
To say like think about kind of flowing with this.
And we do maybe a little bit step with the piano, right?
A little bit of a step with the piano, right? Yeah. Exactly. And salsa as an art form is international like that, isn't it? You have like some like these Afro-Caribbean roots and things like that with the drums and the percussion and stuff like that, but then you can hear brass instruments. And then salsa takes on, it seems like from learning from you guys and other people in the scene, different expressions in different regions. So people will talk about LA style, New York style, and then you mentioned there's
Puerto
different
Rican
timings.
style, Cuban style.
Colombia, different parts of Colombia.
Colombian style,
Cali style.
exactly, Cali style. There are a bunch of different styles. But in my opinion, you know, they're old. Go back to the basics. If you like start with the basic, everything, going back to the instruments, you know what I mean? So just the style changes, but the soul of the music is, for me, is the same.
It's a wonderful thing. So real quick to Los Sabrosos, and then we'll zoom out to the scene. So you guys have had this studio in Garfield on Penn, you know, kind of by Assemble for folks that are familiar, kind of by Mixtape for folks that are familiar. But you just opened a new space.
That's right.
Also in Garfield down on Penn. Tell us about that.
So our second location is just down the block, same exact side as Los Sabrosos. It's called the Annex, LSDC. And it's a big yellow building with brick at the top. And that is our extension and expansion of our events. We have some classes there. We definitely have, you know, we definitely offer some things as well in that area, in that space. But really, because we've been getting so many requests for bachelorette parties, parties in general. We do quinceañeras, we do sangeets, which is basically dances for Indian weddings, getting ready for that. We've just had so many requests for more kind of events and organizations that we were to juggle all of those things in one building was becoming a little bit crazy. And we said this in our like business plan where it was just like, there was a 4-year-old birthday party because we do a lot of kids' birthday parties. And they were supposed to come and start like at 4 p.m. And we were setting up already at 3. And so we still had private lessons. This is when we were just in the one building. So we still had some few private lessons going on. And for some reason, the parents brought, at least a few of the parents, brought in these little 4-year-olds already. And it's like kittens, you know, they're like running all over the place and they're running in between the private lessons. And we're like, you know, you can't, you just roll with it. I'm like, it's like you're in a social. Let's just, you know, let's keep going. So, but this way, it's been fantastic because actually this past weekend we had our spring weekenders. We had over 200 people that came through our buildings. We brought in 2 world champions from DC, New York area, and we were able to do all the workshops at the annex and still run all of our regular lessons, our kids classes, little kids dance fusion, yoga, meditation, all that stuff in the other building. And it went without a hitch. It was fantastic. So it's been definitely a challenge in some senses of like having enough staff and making sure, especially when we have multiple classes happening at the same time in both buildings, kind of sometimes running in between when the snowstorm happened and all that stuff, just finding parking in between the buildings. But it was amazing. It's been an amazing opportunity.
That's great. No, it's really wonderful growth. So let's just do a general rundown of kind of the programming at the studio, and we'll certainly, link up in the show notes for folks to click through and find more. But kind of walk us through it. So there are group classes, and you can start from in beginner, on up, and then how does that kind of work? And then tell us a little bit about some of the socials, Noche Latina, and these other things you do.
Yeah. So I'll start with group lessons. You do the socials and stuff.
Sure.
So for group lessons, most of our group lessons run as 4-week progressive series. They build up each week. And we have starting from complete beginners, 3 left feet, and going all the way to advanced levels. And so most of our most popular are our Latin series. So you'll see a lot of levels in salsa and bachata. But we also offer Bollywood and belly dance and ballroom. We have a ballroom sampler that kind of covers a different ballroom style each month. So we had, I think, cha-cha last month. So, and that's for more, if it's a sampler, it's like beginner / intermediate friendly, where the teacher goes and really adjusts for wherever you're at in your dance journey. And then we also offer kids group classes. So little kids dance fusion for little ones ages 3 to 6. Then we have a creative movement. And we also offer break-in, which is breakdancing, run by our amazing dance teacher, Yangzer. So all of those are group classes. Basically, we even have a baby and me class. So we start from babies all the way until you're hundreds. You can join into any of these group classes.
No excuses.
No excuses, exactly. And so most of our courses or group courses have a similar kind of schedule. They start at the beginning of the month, they build up throughout the end of the month, and then they restart each month. So if you miss something, you can definitely jump on in at any point the following month, or even our instructors always review what they did the previous week before they add on. So even if you don't come to the first class, you want to come in on the second, there's not a problem. Or if you have to miss a class, there's really no issue because they always do that review.
Right. Yeah. So to put a funner point on it, so I'm now in Salsa 2.5. So Salsa 1, and then once you complete it, if you feel comfortable, you can move on.
Right.
It gets a little bit more, challenging, some more elements, stuff like that. And then so for Salsa 2.5, we'll go over the basics, but by week 4, we've kind of learned a routine, I guess,
a routine,
or a sequence that you can use.
Right.
And you kind of go over what we learned last week. You might add a couple elements. So then by week 4, the second half of the class, we're just kind of doing this full sequence, and we're switching partners, and we're practicing that.
Yeah.
And then you can use that in social dancing. You have some extra moves that you can use beyond the basics. That's the basic
exactly
idea,
and that's kind of the thing about our group lessons. We switch all the students, unless you really don't want to switch, then you have to kind of stand to the side, but 99% of people do switch, and it's a great way to meet people. A lot of people make friendships through our group classes, and it's just a wonderful way to be able to kind of put a face to a name and learn more about a lot of folks, because our Salsa 1 classes get upwards of 40-50 people now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's packed. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And speaking of the socials, we run 2 socials, 3 socials a month. We run every first and third Saturday of each month. We do our Noche Latinas, which we were doing in Los Sabrosos. Now we switch it to the annex. And then we do the Rocky Salsa social. That's the last Monday of each month. And we're still doing that at Los Sabrosos, 4909 Penn Avenue.
And we have the Zucchata.
And we have the Zucchata that runs Fridays.
Yes. It sometimes switches, but usually it's the third Friday of the month. Sometimes it's the second Friday, depending. And then we have another organization that also rents our space, the Pittsburgh Tangueros, and they do a milonga. So it's a tango social that they do the second Fridays of the month. And then a big practica every single Sunday of tango as well. At Los Sabrosos. So lots of socials.
There's a lot going on. So on the website, there's a full calendar. And then there's breakdowns on the classes, and you can do all that. And I encourage people to check them out on social media, because you can see from their posts, but also like the stories on Instagram, you can see what it looks like. You know, like what some of the classes are looking like, and sometimes there's yoga, and they use the space in different ways. So a social for people, this is a kind of a big open dance party. You come in and it's not so much lessons. Sometimes you'll see a social like the one tonight. They might do a quick lesson in the beginning, but then it's really 4 or 5, however many hours of music.
Exactly.
Right.
Come and dance and introduce yourself to people. And
we're BYOA, so you can bring whatever alcohol you'd like. We have mixers and non-alcoholic drinks at the bar. And so it's just, everyone, the culture around Latin social dancing, and this is why I specifically love really salsa, bachata, Latin dancing, is because the culture regarding it is I'll ask you to dance, or ask whoever to dance, and you dance one song, and then you're like, thank you so much. I'd love to dance with you again, but you don't dance another song typically. I might dance with you again later in the evening, or it might be just the next social, because basically by the end of the night, you will have danced with basically every single person on the floor. Or that's sitting, even the people that are sitting are going to be standing and dancing. Everyone's asking everyone. So it's just the community here, especially in Pittsburgh, is super friendly.
Yes.
Everyone really dances with everyone else.
I was so surprised. I heard about this. I didn't know about these norms, though, coming in. I didn't know, you go, you ask different people to dance, and you keep moving. And I remember I was dancing with a woman at the Greer Cabaret for one of their salsa nights. And especially at the beginning, I I would just start talking. Like, hey, I just started dancing. It was obvious, but I'm new and all of that. I remember the one woman, so nice, people so nice, so friendly. And the one woman was looking at me, and she's like, "We all started like this.
Exactly.
This is what you do. You come in and you just dance, and that's how you get better.
Yes.
But it's also part of the culture. It's like to be friendly and to introduce. And you can say no, thank you. People will take breaks. They'll sit down. They'll have some water. They may take a couple of songs off. But people are just up and about, and they're kind of catching up with each other, and they're kind of spinning around the room. It's a lot of fun.
And you never really take it personally. When people say no, maybe that song wasn't the one they were feeling it. Right? Maybe they needed to go to the bathroom. They needed a drink.
Right.
So it's always the next song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I would always say to my students, just don't take it personal, because a lot of times it's like, I don't want to go to the socials, but why not? You just learn 2 months. You just spend 2 months, spend your time, spend your money. Why don't you try the social? And we're going to talk about those socials around the city, right? So pretty much almost every day you can go somewhere. If Friday doesn't work for you, check Saturday, maybe Sunday. And there's a lot of pop-up socials that happen.
Exactly.
So and if it happens that somebody says no to you, don't take it personal. Don't think about, it's because I'm a beginner, or because I'm not as good as that person. That's not what it is.
Right.
Like I said, a lot of times people are just not feeling the song.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to go and ask the same person or the next person. After 3 times, if that person say no, well, maybe you want to try somebody else. But it's just one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So don't get discouraged.
And we do that a lot in our beginner classes too.
We teach them that. We told them that.
We have a little
you do.
We go
give
over
them
that.
a little spiel about.
We have a spiel, and then sometimes we'll do a thing where we'll literally have them practice saying no to each other, and saying yes, enthusiastically saying yes to each other. We teach at University of Pittsburgh as well, and so we literally have had them all go in a circle and switch, and so follow, say no, and then switch, another person lead, say no to each other, and so it's like, because we're not used to, I think in general as a society, we're not used to being comfortable. As partners, but also B, just hearing the word no. And it could be without rancor. It could be for whatever reason, and so it's just like, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at this moment. And it's okay. And
Right. Right?
And it shows up in the dance form. I want to affirm that too, because in taking the beginner classes, I think you also do a very good job of encouraging people in all the classes to go to the rookie social.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great way to dance and to learn as a new person. It's also really nice as someone that's learned a few more skills to be able to dance with people that are coming up and to practice themselves.
Yeah.
But this is specifically for learners, and it's not the Greer Cabaret, 300 people.
Right.
It's for you to be comfortable
Yeah.
and to try this out.
Yeah, our rookies is like right after our group classes on Mondays. And so it happens not always the last Monday of the calendar month. It's always the last Monday of our 4-week course series.
Right.
Because then it's like, okay, you guys have been learning something for about a month now.
Just
Come on and just
practice
try it
something
out
out.
and practice it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's a
exactly.
very short social. It's only 2 hours, really laid back.
Yeah.
And it's just happens immediately after the classes are done.
And these norms show up in the salsa itself, because you'll talk about the tension, the dynamic tension, and holding the frame.
Yes.
And there's this beautiful, it's a dance obviously, but this communication you're doing
Exactly.
through the dance, where
through your bodies.
where as I dance as a lead, where you want to provide structure and an indication of where you're trying to go as the partner, but also it's not just a passive experience for the follows.
Exactly.
And you want to give tension as a follow,
Yes.
to also communicate,
to communicate,
but also
exactly.
to not get overrun or to
Exactly.
get thrown or just spun around.
Exactly. No,
that-
you have to have your own energy and give that back to your partner as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, definitely. We talk about that. Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing.
it is.
So let's talk about the scene. So there's a salsa social tonight. This is at the Greer Cabaret downtown. This is the Cultural Trust.
And that's a pop-up. So
and it's a pop-up. So,
it's
they
not
were
always,
doing it.
They were doing it for years and years and
Hundreds
years.
of them.
Yes, every single
Every Friday.
There was
Every
Friday.
Friday. They used to do it for years. They did it for years. Every Friday. That's
Yeah.
where we met. So and now they just do it once a month, right? Or
Well, no.
right
So
now,
there was
actually not
this
even
is
once
this
a
it's
month
like
right
a
now.
series. They did
Series
like a
of
fall
3,
series and
yeah,
now a spring series
over the summer.
Okay.
And I do encourage people to check. The Cultural Trust is incredible.
Yes.
They have relatively recently invested in the Greer Cabaret.
Yes, they did
They
this
put millions of
huge-
dollars
Yeah.
into this
Beautiful.
space.
It's
So it's
gorgeous.
gorgeous in
Yeah.
there. So it's a very beautiful place. They're back with their programming. You can order food there and drinks and stuff like that. And they're also doing these salsa socials. So last summer they had 3. And then, I saw this winter/spring, 3 more, and they're seeing what interest there is in that.
Yeah.
And all of it. So there's one tonight. That's being put on by Salsa Pittsburgh in partnership with the Cultural Trust.
That's right.
Jeff and Colleen run Salsa Pittsburgh.
And they have been like some of the longest running
Pioneers of
pioneers in
Pittsburgh. I
salsa.
remember when I came to Pittsburgh, they were already running shows, and I remember they were bringing big names, dancers, professionals from different cities.
Mhm.
That's how I got hooked into this, man. I love it.
It's
So
cool.
they're still doing it. So.
They're doing Greer Cabaret. They play in Homestead. They have salsas in Homestead.
That's right.
Takayo and Bethel Park.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like they have their own calendar as well, where you can
Right.
find your events and stuff like that.
And if
Exactly.
I'm not
And they do a
mistaken,
wonderful-
they teach classes at the
Whiteman.
Whiteman
Oh,
School.
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They do have their series of classes. You
I
can
think
go
they
and check it out on their
sometimes
website.
like, yeah.
And there are other studios and stuff. So how many roughly? I mean, there's got to be at least 4 or 5 socials a week, somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
I would say.
Maybe 3 or 4 a week
Yeah.
at least.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, especially with all the pop-ups, because I think now there's a lot of people that are just kind of, or like a restaurant will be like, okay, let's try like a one-off and see how it goes. So even we have some restaurant partners that they don't necessarily want to go and have their staff there all night, but
Right.
they are like, okay, like once a month thing or once every quarter, let's do something different. So you know, I
Yeah.
think it just
Right.
kind of depends.
That's right. You guys had one on Ellsworth in Shady Side.
That's
That was
right,
kind
yeah.
of a pop up.
Yes.
At
People
the
could go.
Mezcal, what was it's the El Sabor people that are on Penn Avenue, right across the street from Children's Hospital.
Yes, I love
They have a
El Sabor.
second
Sabor.
location, it's like a mezcal and tequila bar, but they have a different name on it. I'm
Yeah,
blanking right
on
now.
Ellsworth over there.
Yes.
And you guys had a pop up there, so people could get like bites and drinks and stuff like that,
Exactly.
and they have a
Yeah.
little
Right.
dance floor.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
So-
it's I think I mean, and this is something you could talk to, I think, as a restaurant owner. It's hard because, yes, a majority of these places have covers. So most covers will run anywhere from $10 to $15 for a night. And that covers and makes sure that it can take care of like the mini lessons, bringing the music, and just having staff on hand to dance with folks and be able to engage with everyone. But, support your bartenders, support the restaurant. Grab a drink, whether it's a non-alcoholic. Now mocktails are phenomenal and delicious, and just making sure that you also support the venue is really important, because
especially if the venue is not charging, because like
we're not charging a lot.
They're right, because they're probably hoping that the people that goes there, at least they have, and it doesn't have to be an alcoholic drink, right? They always do mocktails, so they're hoping that you can get a drink, and with that drink, you're already, collaborating for all their expenses.
Exactly.
So sometimes when I was running my restaurant, we always have a cover charge. And people will ask me like, well, why? Because, we have all these expenses that we have to go through. Right. And I remember back in the day, I'm talking about more than 15 years ago, I would say 20 years ago, 22 years ago. It was also a lot of socials, like 4 or 5 places that you can go. And then all of a sudden, these places just close. And people will be like, well, why they closed? Think about it, right? They're not charging anything to get in. And then you go there. Yes, you might have 150 people. But if nobody really even get a Pepsi or and so
more than a Pepsi, you really need to be doing 2 to 3 drinks.
Or like an appetizer, because some places their kitchen is still open, and especially they do it like, okay, let's do a salsa night. So I'm like, let's just keep the kitchen open. Not the whole menu, but we have some appetizers. If nobody gets an appetizer or a drink, so it's really hard to keep that place open for a long time.
Exactly.
So sometimes that's why you see it like few months, 4 months, 6 months max. And then that place shuts, and then another place open, but it's the same story. You know what I mean? So yes, always support your local establishments.
Yeah,
so
it's great. So so there's a vibrant scene, and is your sense that this is growing in the city of Pittsburgh, salsa
Definitely.
and partner dancing
Definitely.
and all that?
I mean, the other thing that we also do are private lessons and events, right? And so we've seen a huge upswing in even just people going, I mean, salsa is so popular all over the world. Pittsburgh has a really lovely, healthy scene. And if you want to go in whenever you're traveling for work or for pleasure, I mean, you can find salsa dancing anywhere. So I have a lot of students that just do private lessons, because then you can do it at your own schedule, your own pace, your own time. And they specifically are doing it because they travel a lot, or, at least once a month, and they don't want to just sit at a bar by themselves. They want something to kind of connect them with. So I would say there's been a really huge resurgence since COVID of people in Pittsburgh and really all over the world that have been starting to go and really get to discover this awesome, this wonderful just activity that really connects you to others.
Right. My experience in the past 30 years that I have been here, I have seen it and how it has changed. It used to be places that you go social dance, but we didn't really have dance studios. I think we have one, and it didn't last too long. Jeff and Colleen are the ones, I think, that have been running their classes the longest. But they don't have a studio. They just rent a little place. So when we opened the studio, I believe that helped a lot to the scene in Pittsburgh, because now you have a place that is a consistent every week. You have a place that you can go. And Jeff and Colleen always run pop-ups, and now it's another studio, Crossbar in downtown. They also run a Thursday night. So they also consistent on their social nights. So now you have 2 consistent nights that that something might close, but these 2 places are going to stay open, right? My Saturday is covered, my Thursday is covered, and then the pop-up places they're just going to pop every month or every week.
Exactly.
So, and I have seen how people are more interested in staying dancing and staying in the scene. Before it was just because maybe because we don't have like a studio per se. You will see a lot of people come and go. like just the social, and that's it. And then every 3 months, every 4 months, it was a new people, which was good. But now you see a lot of people actually. Now you go to the social, and for years, and now I can say like at least 3, 4, 5 years or more since we started our socials, you can see that people stay to the point that I create best friends now. I don't just have students. Now I have friends that we develop this relationship through dancing for the past 5 years or 3 years or 2 years. And now I have my wife and my babies and a house and chickens and 2 studios, and so definitely
it's such a
big
wonderful
change.
story.
Yes,
I loved it. I love to hear it. And encourage people to check it out. It's a vibrant scene that I did not know the extent of. I'm still learning, and it's been really wonderful. Let's talk very quickly, and we can wrap up here. You guys also do some traveling, like as a studio and stuff, and you just mentioned the Weekender. You brought in some professional dancers, but there are also these congresses as well. So tell us a little bit about what that scene is.
So a congress is basically like a conference, but the idea is that you're going to be exploring many, many different styles of dance, usually Latin, and throughout the whole day. So there are workshops from instructors from all over the world. Most congresses will bring in people from all over the United States and Europe and Latin America. And so during the day, you take different workshops, and every single hour, there's like 3 to 4 or 5 workshops offered. So you have a lot of options. And then in the evenings, they do performances and then socials. So performances can start anywhere from like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. They go a couple of hours, depending on what their lineup is. And a lot of studios go. So they have a lot of students that are performing, and then a lot of professionals go and perform as well. And then usually be around 10, 11 o'clock at night. It does start usually later, but it goes till really, really long. So till 7, 8 in the morning, there's socials. Wow. So there's multiple ballrooms. Usually there's a salsa ballroom and a bachata ballroom. It could be a cha-cha or kizomba, zouk. So all of that. Some, smaller congresses have it all kind of in one or 2 ballrooms, but the larger ones have many multiple ballrooms, and you just literally walk from one ballroom to another, and you just dance and dance and dance. So you stay in the hotel usually, and you just the whole weekend it's a blur of classes and dancing.
We train teams, and we take some of our students to some of those congresses.
So you train teams, and then there's an opportunity for some of these teams to go
perform.
There's no requirement.
No requirement. But you can go to like Columbus, Toronto, DC,
exactly,
and there will be these congresses, and you can perform as a team, a routine that you work on.
Yes,
and you're all like in matching outfits and stuff, and there's also a kind of a local element of that too. Like sometimes at socials or at events, we'll have a team perform a routine.
We do our weekenders, like the one that we just have. We have our anniversary where we have all our teams performing. And we have our showcases. So our showcase is coming out May 29th.
May 29th.
So we're training our team. So everybody's getting ready, getting the costumes, getting the shoes, getting the routine ready. So we can showcase for the first time something that we've been working for the past 5 months, 6 months, or 3 months. Some people are like, hey, I just want to do something. And they do it 2, 3 weeks. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and a boot camp. We have also like boot camps.
Right. So that's great.
So the showcase. It's
you have done one of those.
That's right.
Yes, you did multiple performances in one of them. That's right.
That's true.
Two teams. I think. 2 teams.
Esencia
and Picante.
Picante.
Yeah.
And then you dropped in on that boot camp.
And then you dropped me on the boot camp. Yes, I did the beginner one as well. Yeah, that was great. I mean, for me, it was like it was extra reps and learning some more and great people and all of that. But it's like you see a bunch of performances, but a bunch of different styles, an individual pairing or a whole group of people, and then social dancing, and then everyone has fun, and it's really great. Wonderful. All right. Anything else that we want to mention in this conversation? Point them certainly to your website and the social media, to learn more.
Yeah. So we just came back from Cozumel, Mexico, and we're just about to release actually tomorrow the dates, which you can have like the access to now, March 2nd through this 9th of next year. We're going to be going back to Cozumel, Mexico. And we brought 30 plus people this time, and we're going to bring some more. And it's
Amazing.
a wonderful way and we had people that were just non-dancers that just joined us and relaxed in the pool, on the beach, at an all-inclusive resort, Fiesta Americana. And so it was wonderful because we went up to a lot of local clubs and just restaurants in the evenings, and they had live bands. And so it was, you have workshops if you want to join them. We had like days off and yoga next to the pool and the water and volleyball in the water and lots of different options and wonderful live music and just fabulously warm people. So, if someone wants to have a wonderful vacation next year and meet a great group of people, join us.
And check us out. We're in Garfield, which is a lovely neighborhood.
Great neighborhood.
It is amazing.
And it's a great neighborhood. Since we moved in, I remember the kids from the neighborhood, they would just like open the door and like check it out, and like I will be like, come in.
Yeah.
They were shy. They just keep walking. And I remember you will be like, just ask your parent that if you want to take classes, you don't have to pay for the classes. Come join us. Few of them did it. Some they were more shy, but yes, we're in.
So
Garfield,
we have actually, speaking of, we do scholarships, like full scholarships.
Right.
So if money is an issue, just let us know. For our group classes, we have low income, military, senior, and college student discounts. We offer full scholarships. We have a big scholarship program and incredible donors that have been going and giving a lot to be able to cover families, people, anyone who wants to take part in either group lessons or events or teams. So it's just, don't let money be a factor for not jumping in with both feet.
And if you haven't been in Garfield, highly recommend it. There's a lot of stuff that you can see. There's restaurants, there's art studios,
wonderful bars, places just to like. There's a Black Cat Cafe that just opened next to the annex.
Ice cream. We just have
ice cream. Leona's ice cream shop.
Our son is crazy with ice cream now. It's like,
I ate a sweet potato, a purple sweet potato ice cream. I forget what it's called.
No, ice cream.
Yeah.
Sweet potato ice cream.
Sweet potato. It's amazing.
I believe it. Yeah, Garfield has a cool reputation these days. It's also very underrated.
It really is.
It's cooler than people know. And like, you guys are a great example of that. Restaurants, artist studios, breweries. That's right. Two Phrases actually kind of close to where you guys are on the annex. That's one of the best.
And we're part of the arts district. So what Garfield is known for is the big unblurred gallery crawl. And that happens always the first Friday of the month. So everyone opens their doors. We have lots of amazing artists that we have on our walls. And people just walk around and there's live music in the streets. It's just an amazing feeling. Like it is literally the best decision we ever had to be able to be there.
I agree.
It's wonderful. All right. Well, thank you guys so much, Nicolette, Agustin, for what you do, who you are. I encourage you guys to check out Los Sabrosos. Hopefully, we'll see you out there dancing. Thanks for checking out this video, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys. Thank you.